1927, my grandpa John Fisher and my great uncle Joe Fisher started Fisher's, and Joe Fisher was known for making good German sausage, and he always liked it smoked. Along about in 1981, Johnny found a German master sausage maker. He was here for 2.5 years, and instead of making 5 or 6 kinds of sausage, we were making 20 or 30 kinds. On our meat, we'll grind it, stuff it into sausage casings, smoke it. We have our own state-of-the-art smokehouse. These are some smoked hams that we smoked. They just came out of the smokehouse this morning. They were in there all night. And then bacons that we took out of the smokehouse yesterday evening. We got the smoked German sausage here that we sell a lot of, actually. And then the 2 summer sausages that we sell, and Fisher's boneless hams. In 2005, my wife and I bought into the store and have continued to produce good quality German products.
Naeglin's Bakery, we were established in 1868 by Edward Naeglin. He was just coming off of the Civil War and looking for a place to establish his family and business, and he came with just a sack of flour and began the bakery. Our family, the Granzines, bought this establishment in 1980. Mr. Buddy Naeglin had been looking for many years for someone to take over his business and run it the way that his family had run it for generations. So he was wanting the German heritage to stay strong, as well as his German recipes. My grandfather, Wilburn Granzine, took over, and Buddy Naeglin stayed with my family for about 6 months to make sure that everything was running the way that it was supposed to, the way he would be proud to leave his legacy behind. And since then, we have continued to run Naeglin's the way that it was intended to be.
The apple strudel is one of our best sellers too here, and we still make it here in-house. And still original recipe we use for that we've had, and that's our #1 seller here at Naeglin's. So it's really delicious. And we make cherry and peach too now.
We've honored those German traditions that were set by the Naeglin's family and continue to do so while bringing in the new population and the new expectations of a local bakery.
Well, we've tried to maintain the German Texas heritage with Shiloh's. And it started back in Beeville, back as a restaurant and bar. The Shiloh family then moved to San Antonio and opened a restaurant. At first it was a bar, I think, from what we can find out. Then they started serving food. Then Prohibition hit, and thank goodness they were already into the food end of it, because the Germans could no longer sit around drinking their mug of beer. So Mr. Shiloh came up with a supercharged recipe for root beer so that the Germans could sit there with their mug of now not beer but root beer.
You can kind of think about German Texan food the same way you think about Tex-Mex food. Both the Mexicans and the Germans had been here for a while, but the longer they're here, the more it starts to become Americanized. And so it's no longer necessarily authentic, but the roots are there from the German cuisine.